All right, guys, so today I want to talk a little bit about borderless stickers. This is mostly going to be about stuff like Copenhagen and Paris, but also with Stockholm and Antwerp thrown in a little bit there as well, because there actually has been some very, very interesting information coming out regarding borderless stickers lately that could give us a little bit of insight into maybe how good or bad of an investment Paris and Copenhagen can end up being going forward in the future, but also what might influence some of Valve's decisions going forward in the future as well. And obviously, they have a big decision coming up whether or not something like Shanghai is going to be borderless or bordered or whatever. So I am Jeremy, a CS2 collector, investor, and cash trader. In this video today, we're going to be bringing some pretty cool insights and information about borderless stickers to you guys, and hopefully, some information that you can base some of your investing decisions off of. Of course, just wanted to mention my cash trading business real quick. If you guys are looking to sell any of your CS2 items, tournament, cold hard cash, or crypto, or any other payment method, definitely hit me up over on Twitter. We've been getting lots of cool deals done lately for a couple of different knives here, some really, really nice skins, gloves, cases, capsules, stickers, whatever you guys have. Obviously, we would like to get the bigger deals done. We like to help you guys cash out those big inventories safely, effectively, efficiently, all that good stuff. So if that's something you're interested in, hit me up, and you're also helping support me, my channel, and my content. With that being said, let's get right into this video today. So this comes from Counter-Strike News. They are saying that Striker has estimated that each player received around $250K from the Paris 2023 sticker capsule sales. Now, we've already seen some of these numbers thrown out in the past. We know Paris was amazing for Valve, amazing for the tournament organizers, amazing for the players, and amazing for the teams. And we've seen some of these numbers thrown around as well, but obviously what is great for all of them is not so great for Paris investors or just people who like stickers and stuff. Now, obviously, maybe some of it was needed because there was a lot of desire and demand for borderless stickers, so using Paris as a way to get a ton of borderless stickers out there and try to meet some of that demand or catch up to some of that demand maybe is good in some ways. I don't know. And then obviously they released the sticker crafting update, but also I know Paris came out during a time where a lot of people were also excited for the future of CS2 and were expecting some kind of big player base boom and the numbers to increase and all that stuff. And obviously a lot of that stuff never happened. We've seen some slow, consistent growth over time throughout 2024, but we didn't ever see that big explosive growth. The CS2 release didn't go as many people would have hoped or expected or whatever, and obviously that left us with a mountain of Paris stuff. And then Valve went ahead and decided to drop more borderless stickers on us for Copenhagen, and not only more borderless stickers for Copenhagen, but leave them on sale for longer than even Paris was on sale. Obviously, these stickers didn't come out before the tournament. Actually, the weird thing about Copenhagen is they didn't come out until after the tournament started because there were some issues, with the player signatures and all that stuff. But still, despite the fact that the player base has grown, the player base probably wasn't bigger than it was during that time in 2023, but despite the fact that, we have matured, CS2 is now out, and the sale did last longer in Paris, the numbers for Copenhagen early on were looking much weaker than Paris. We had heard from some teams and some insiders, and then now after the fact, he has also mentioned the recent capsule Copenhagen 2024 brought in up to 100,000 per player, meaning that the supply of Copenhagen should literally be less than half of what we got from Paris, which obviously makes Copenhagen all of a sudden a lot more attractive. Now, obviously, the bad thing about Copenhagen and the reason why I think a lot of people are still scared about it and probably staying away from it overall is because it is another borderless sticker iteration. Yes, there are much less Copenhagen borderless stickers specifically out there than compared to something like Paris, but also when all borderless stickers kind of look similar, even if there isn't as many Copenhagen stickers out there, there's still a mountain and just an insane amount of borderless stickers, period. Now, Copenhagen is a little bit weird. I know they're a little bit different. Copenhagen definitely has a different feel and vibe than something like Paris or Stockholm or Antwerp, where they're all kind of the same, but still, either way, Copenhagen is going to continue to get lumped in with those. They are still borderless stickers. They are not unique or different enough, and especially during this time when the community sentiment is pretty low based around borderless stickers, I did think this was pretty interesting. So on one hand, it's kind of good. Copenhagen did not see as amazing sales. Hey, that's not good for Valve. It's not good for, it's not as good. Obviously, the money's still very good, but it's not as good for players, not as good for tournament organizers, not as good for organizations and stuff like that who, need to make money, need to be sustainable and all that stuff. But this is also interesting because I think this does show Valve that it wasn't just the fact that people love borderless stickers why Paris sold so crazy. Paris was this really, really rare combination of circumstances, like I said, where we had this CS2 hype, we had people coming into the CS2 investing scene because prices were going absolutely insane, and, borderless stickers were also very, very cool as well, and people were really hyped for the Paris Major. All of that lined up to these insane amounts of Paris investment. It wasn't just like, hey, every time you release bordered stickers, you're going to make that much money, and I don't expect that's what Valve thought or whatever, but obviously after seeing the numbers go down a lot, And honestly, I would expect if Shanghai comes out borderless as well, that the numbers will continue to drop even further. Hopefully that does make Valve rethink things. Hopefully that does make Valve reconsider the future, because again, Copenhagen has a lot less supply, which could make it a potential attractive investment. But if Shanghai ends up coming out as borderless, that is still going to be really, really bad for Copenhagen. Copenhagen is going to tank more. Paris is going to tank further, which doesn't even seem possible. And it's just going to be really, really bad. And who knows how long or how many borderless stickers Valve will continue to pump out. But if Valve does learn from this and see that community sentiment is not necessarily here, and if they want to turn things around and maybe change things, or maybe try to have a really successful sale, which can be difficult because obviously they've tried other bordered stickers before. Stuff like Rio didn't really pan out, but I would argue, hey, that's because Rio stickers were pretty ugly. People didn't really like that style or that design. If you gave us a clean, good-looking bordered sticker, I think sales would really be there. It would be interesting. So I don't know if this is going to change Valve's mind or whatever, but I did think getting some of these numbers out there is pretty interesting, and seeing just how much lower the supply should be for something like Copenhagen than Paris, because obviously it is a very, very massive difference going from 250K down to 100K per player. Just kind of shows you the numbers. Now, obviously, that does depend a little bit on which capsule you're in, which teams you play for, orgs, all that different stuff. But that is kind of something interesting to note there. We did also have some application numbers for a lot of the borderless stickers coming out recently. I know this is something some people do like monthly or weekly or whatever. And what they say here is, this was Brongo tweeted this out. That's how I saw this. He said, this guy, A1F, says, latest application numbers for Antwerp, Paris, Copenhagen, and Stockholm from October 26th compared to August 13th. Since last time, Copenhagen application numbers is actually people, putting crafts onto, or putting stickers onto weapons, actually applying and consuming these stickers, making their supply go down. Copenhagen was up around 50%. Paris up 15 to 20%, which is pretty crazy because, again, Paris came out in like early 2023. It is more than a year old at this point. The fact that Paris application numbers are still increasing in big numbers is definitely a good sign. He does say Paris continues to be applied at huge numbers because, again, I would argue Paris looks a lot better than Copenhagen, even though we have a lot more Paris stickers out there. It does look a lot better in Copenhagen. It should be really good for crafting. And the Armory update just came out, giving us all these new skins that apparently people are actually using in crafting with and all that stuff. So Paris is up 15 to 20%, continued to be applied at huge numbers. Antwerp actually consistently up 2 to 5%. Again, that is a much older collection. It's not an old collection, but it's a much older collection relative to these, with much lower supplies, and the stuff's more expensive and all that stuff. So yeah, definitely some good news for borderless stickers in general. Application rates do keep going up. People are actually using and applying these stickers, which is a good thing at the end of the day. There are still insane amounts of all of these stickers sitting in inventories and sitting in storage units, and people investing in them and all that stuff. But like I said, seeing that at least the Copenhagen supply isn't as massive and sky high as the Paris sale, obviously it is another bad sign for Copenhagen and for future sticker investments. The fact that the Copenhagen sale lasted so long, I do truly think it is pretty disgusting and pretty unreasonable how long these sales are lasting. I do think it kind of hurts their sales overall, and I do think if Valve had a long-term mindset for this, they would kind of be prioritizing at least somewhat of scarcity, because, like, again, it doesn't make sense to just flood these out there, and I don't think people will continue to buy these in the numbers that they are, and I think Valve's already seeing that. Look at how much less the sales of Copenhagen were versus the sales of Paris. So this will be definitely something interesting to track and take care of. I know obviously Paris numbers are still ridiculously low. Paris Legends capsule actually up 4% in the past month, but still only sitting at 13 cents. But actually Copenhagen capsules, some of them do remain profitable or pretty close to profitable. Obviously after the 13% Steam tax, you don't really know if these are exactly profitable or whatever, but sitting at 30 cents on the Steam market, at least they're above the 25 cents, which is definitely something you can't say for Paris. But I don't know. I thought these numbers were kind of interesting. Wanted to get them out to you. I think it's kind of a big deal. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's just going to depend what happens with Shanghai. But hey, today's October 30th. We're going to be getting Shanghai news very, very soon, and we'll have to wait and see what the markets do from there. Pretty much every video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.